So, at the request of my lovely listeners, I've decided my next numerology series is going to be on the maturity number. Now, the maturity number isn't as influential or strong as your expression number. Your expression number is always there from birth until you ascend back to spirit. But your maturity number is something you develop throughout your life, and it starts to come into effect late 20s, early to mid 30s, depending on your life path, actually. Now, you calculate your maturity number by adding your main life path number and your main expression number. So I'm a life path 347 and I'm an expression number 145. So I'm going to add the 7 and the 5 together, and that makes me a maturity number 123. If, however, you add up your life path and expression and it comes to 1, it's not going to come to 1, 10, 19, 28, you know the score. Then you're a maturity number 1. So it means in your earlier life, you might have been less confident. And over time, into your late 20s to mid 30s, you start to become more confident in yourself. So you start off less confident and you become more confident. You start to believe in yourself more. And you start over time to be better at being noticed in the crowd because you're more confident in your uniqueness when you're a 1 that is developing. You're able to have more confidence in the ideas that you channel. You may not have been confident before, but over time you develop your confidence with your new ideas and your ability to share those new ideas with your audience. Over time, you get better at focusing on your ideas to manifestation. Whereas before, you might have been underconfident and sabotaged yourself and not stayed focused on your ideas. Over time, as a maturity 1, by your late 20s to early 30s, you're starting to focus and act powerfully on your ideas and being more confident about it. In your early life, you need validation from others, but as you grow and mature in your maturity 1, you think to yourself, I don't need validation from you. I'm going to use my intuition and I'm going to know in my heart of hearts that my ideas and everything that I express is actually positive for mankind. You didn't have that ability before, but over time and experience, you've learned to not go to others for validation so much. And that goes alongside your increasing confidence and self-assurance. You express your ideas more confidently, and most importantly, you trust your own intuitive voice more than you did before. Before, the validation from others would have been the reason why you made decisions. But as you grow into your late 20s, early 30s, you're really going to start following your intuition rather than what other people think or validation or non-validation from others. So instead of running away and crawling under your rock and thinking, oh, nobody loves me, like you would have done in your early life, you start to think, do you know what? I know I'm intuitively right and I'm going to be more self-assured and confident and I'm going to share my ideas because I know that my ideas have a positive influence. And as you develop through your life, you'll become more interested in self-discovery and personal development. It may have been something that you weren't so interested in your early life, but again, as you've developed towards your late 20s, early 30s, you're starting to get more interested in self-discovery and personal development and developing you. And of course, this goes alongside your improved confidence and self-assurance. Alongside your improved confidence, you're going to become a better leader than you were when you were young. So your leadership skills and your balanced personal power starts to develop from your young life and really comes to fruition late 20s to your mid-30s onwards. So it's not just at that time you have it, it's that time onwards. You're certainly more responsible with your ideas. You think before you act more than you used to. And you're more interdependent. And that means, whereas before you wanted to do everything yourself, I don't need help from anyone, over time you're starting to realise that, do you know what? Sometimes we need help from others. That's how the maturity one develops over time. Now, if your life path number, your main life path number, and your main expression or talent number add together to a 2 or a 20, then you're a maturity number 2. And this means that throughout your life, you've developed better and better ability to deepen your relationships. You may have started struggling a little bit when it came to deepening your relationships or being cooperative in teams and team building, team playing and serving those close to you. But as you've developed throughout your childhood into your early adulthood and into your 30s and early 40s, you've developed a better ability. In fact, you're actually expressing more of the talent of the 2 energy, because this video is about the maturity number 2. So you're better now at deepening your relationships. You're better at being cooperative within groups and teams. You're better now at being a team player. And you're better now at serving others closely in your family and your team or your group situation. You're good or much better than you were at balancing your need for love and nurturing your long-term family relationships. You've become, as you've grown, more of a mediator, more tactful, more able to promote harmony and compassion and consideration and compromise within your relationships in your family and your team. You've developed more of an ability to get the job done for the team, to keep the cogs turning for the team, the group, the family, and create compromise within that team, group, and family. You're much better than you were at service, being more dependable, responsible to the team and group or the family that you serve. You're better at listening to your own intuition and listening to the voice within. You've developed a stronger inner compass throughout your young life, and you trust it now, if you're of the age of 30s and 40s, to help you to make your own personal decisions. And as you've grown, you see humanity now as one whole, and that when you help one person, this help and support and love ripples out to more people, to like a stone in a river. The more you help people, the more this compassion and love ripples out. And you've developed that ability from your young life, from birth, all the way up to now your age as mid-30s, early 40s. And now you've become more assertive enough to contribute and maintain your compassion and love for others, but also having those boundaries in place so that you're not doing too much for others, so that you're not walked on by others, or, so that you make sure you help others, but you consider yourself too. You don't do too much for others and make yourself depleted now. So now, as a maturity number 2, if you are of age, you're either developing if you're younger than 30, or you have developed, if you're older than 30, your ability to maintain and deepen your close relationships, to build teams, to work in a team, to work more healthily within your family, to serve those close to you, balance your need for love when it comes to your long-term relationships. Be more of the harmonizer within the team, the group and the family, and you get the job done now for the team and the group or the family. You're good, you're better at service, you're more dependable, you're more responsible, and you trust your intuition much more now, and you use it to help you to serve others, and you use your intuitive voice within to help you to serve your inner inner compass so that you can make confident decisions for yourself without having to always ask others. You now see humanity as one, and that we should all love and serve each other as one collective utopian energy. You see humanity as one entity, one source energy, and each of our souls are all fragments of this source energy. And you're assertive enough now to serve and help others, but with boundaries, so that you don't step on their life path and you don't exhaust yourself. Now, you can calculate your maturity number by adding your main life path number to your main expression number. So my life path is 7 and my talent or expression number is 5. So when I add those together, I get 12, which reduces to 3. So I'm here today to talk to you about the maturity number 3, which is my maturity number. Now, when you have a maturity number 3, over time you get better and better. From birth onwards, you get better and better at expressing yourself verbally and passionately. Now, you might struggle a bit more in earlier life. You might be a little bit argumentative, or maybe not express yourself in a way that you need to, or you might even be really shy and struggle to express yourself. But by the time you get to your mid-30s, early 40s, you are much better at verbally, passionately expressing yourself to others to inform and inspire and delight audiences. Also, maturity 3s can often feel that they're not creative, especially in their early life. And as they develop, they find their creativity and start to use their creativity again to inspire and inform and delight audiences. So you might think at first that you're not creative, or that you might misunderstand where your creativity is within you. But by the time you hit your mid-30s, early 40s, you will be really noticing how creative you are and starting to express that to people. You're more entrepreneurial as you grow. As you hit your 30s, you'll start to really feel like you want to run your own business, and you start to be able to have the ability to make money creatively and work more consistently, because 3s often start a little bit unfocused and a little bit unable to work consistency. But again, this ability develops from young life all the way up to, again, your mid-30s, early 40s. You're better at acting passionately, you're better at expressing yourself, and you're better at affecting those around you and inspiring action in others as you grow from childhood. You become braver, you become more courageous, and you become more responsible with your expression, because a developing 3 is often a bit they're very spontaneous, and they can sometimes be a little bit irresponsible with their expression. But again, this develops over time so that you start to express yourself more responsibly, and you start to become braver and much more courageous in what you express to others. You express your emotions more positively. Now, I know in my early life, I expressed my emotions a bit sporadically, and sometimes I didn't express my emotions very well. And as I've grown and as I've gone from my 30s and beyond, and I am beyond, and beyond my 40th year, I analyse my emotions better, and I'm better able to understand my emotions and express my emotions more positively to inspire and inform and delight people around me and even audiences. And over time, I've got more confident in my social skills. So I was a little bit more nervous when I was younger and a little bit more guarded, but now, as I've grown and as I've developed through past my 40s, I'm now better able to interact socially and feel a little bit more socially confident. And I'm much happier to be the centre of attention and quite happy to talk to groups of people. And that is literally developed over time. I've improved my spontaneity and my improved ability to, seize the moment and grab opportunities more than I did before, much more. And that's the same for any maturity number 3. And I'm certainly more responsible with what I do, even though I'm still quite responsible and I snap up opportunities. And I will listen to others for advice and guidance, which is sometimes a 3 can struggle with that and not want advice from others. But I've developed, the knowing that, advice and guidance from others is actually very important. And I like to give, of course, advice and guidance to others too. I'm less dependent on others and more interdependent, and I give and receive more equally in equal measure. So over time, as I've developed, I've become better able to express myself creatively, express my emotions more positively, and inspire more people. And I'm less guarded with my communication and less nervous in social situations. Maturity number 4. Your developing talent is your maturity number, and it's something that comes into fruition around mid-30s, early 40s, and it develops throughout your lifetime. And when you get to that age, you become much, much better at maintaining your own stability and security and safety for yourself. You're better at developing and achieving your personal goals, and you do it one step at a time with detail and meticulous focus. And you don't miss steps when you develop your maturity number 4. You do everything one step at a time. You're much more focused on your goals. You have much more patience and perseverance to achieve each step of your goal, and you're more committed to the people and places needed to dig that secure foundation for yourself in order to build your own safety and stability and security of this world. You get better at planning. You're better able to develop processes and procedures when you're achieving your goals, and you're much more detail orientated, more accurate, more organized, and definitely more analytical. You have a more balanced work ethic, you work consistently, and you actually enjoy routine work. In fact, as you get towards your mid-30s, early 40s, if you're a maturity 4, you actually enjoy routine day-to-day work a lot more because you're getting things achieved, and your work ethic is very balanced and very consistent, and you enjoy your day-to-day work. And what you don't do, which you may have done before, is you don't let limitation, personal, internal limitation or external limitation hold you back and stop you. And when you were in your earlier life, you might have even let victimhood hold you back, issues from your past, difficulties in your upbringing with your father or other members of your family may have been used as an excuse to stop you from achieving in life. But as you develop your maturity number 4, you get past that victimhood, and you start treating that victimhood as just a lesson for your personal development, something that you need to learn and get past and not allow it to get you stuck. You get past any previous traumas or situations, and you move on much stronger. And you socialize regularly to keep yourself healthy with your family, your social group, and people that are like you. So you're a maturity number 4 if your main life path number and your main expression number adds and reduces to a 4. So your life path number and your expression number together might add to, for example, a 4, a 13, not a 22 because that's a master number, but a 31, and a 40, and that means you are a maturity number 4. So remember, you've got better and better and better at being able to maintain your own stability and security for yourself. You're more developed in setting and achieving your personal goals. You're more focused, you're more meticulous, and you make sure you achieve every step of your goal one step at a time. You're totally focused on your goals. You're patient, you're more perseverance with your goals, and you're fully committed to the people and places that you need to commit to build those strong foundations. You're a better planner, you're more detail orientated, you're more organized, analytical, and you have a balanced work ethic, so you don't overwork yourself. You don't let limitation, both external or personal, stop you, and you certainly don't let victimhood stop you. And you let go of all them previous situations that you may have used to hold you back. Maturity number 5. So when you're a maturity number 5, you get much, much better over time at being more focused. You're less scattered. You use your energy in a much better way. At first, you might be scattered. You love adventure and variation, and you try loads of things, but you don't really develop any of them. But by the time you get to your mid-30s, early 40s, you start to develop a subject passion, a mastery, or a discipline that really is something that you're the specialist at, and you study that mastery. You're better at studying that mastery and all the detail that relates to it, to specialist focus level. You're better at then balancing your love of variation and adventure, which is still within you, your subject mastery, and of course your family and the people around you. You love adventure, you love variation, but you also love your passion, your subject mastery. You become, as you develop into a maturity number 5, more committed, more dependable, and most importantly, you're better at understanding what real freedom is. Now, we often understand freedom as doing what we want, but the problem with that is doing what we want doesn't really bring proper freedom, because if I ate what I wanted, I'd be too fat to leave the house, therefore not free. And if I did what I wanted, many people, if they did what they wanted, would end up in prison, therefore not free. So as you develop your maturity number 5, you start to realise that real personal freedom in this world comes from having a mastery, a specialism, something that you've focused on and that you are the master at. And you're better at understanding that real personal freedom needs discipline. Now, it seems like those two words are not linked, but they are. The more disciplined you are at your mastery, the more personally free you are. And as you develop your maturity number 5, you come to that understanding. And you might want to become a more creative entrepreneur with your mastery. And you're certainly, as you develop your 5 maturity, you're certainly less fearful and more fearless. So you become a master of what you do. You still love variation and you still commit yourself to your family, but you're a master of what you do. You're more focused, you use your energy better, and you're better able to be an entrepreneur with your mastery. You're certainly more intuitive. You start to trust your intuition and your inner voice much more, and your verbal and your written communication skills definitely improve when you develop your 5, because the 5 energy develops into very much a performer or a writer or both. So you communicate well verbally and in written form, and you could go on the stage. You have better performance skills and you're better at talking to groups of people. Not only that, you have much improved social skills. So when you're a maturity number 5, round about your mid-30s, early 40s, your love of variation brings you to something you love the most, something that you can focus on to mastery, that then will help bring you personal freedom and entrepreneurship and improves your commitment in life. You'll be more fearless, you'll be more intuitive, you'll be better at communicating, better at performing, and certainly better in social groups. The maturity number 6. Now, if you're a maturity number 6, you'll know because you'll have added your life path number to your expression number, and you would have got a 6, or a 15 or a 24, you can see where I'm going here, and you've been able to reduce that down to a 6. So you know your developing talent is in the 6 energy. Now, if that is the case and you're in your mid-30s, early 40s, you're going to become more aware of the state of the world, of the darkness in the world and the things that need to change in the world. You've become more of a vision of the ideal and the need to act to make the world a higher vibrational place, a place where people are fed and looked after, not a place where people like they are currently abused or mistreated, or, you know, people that struggle to have the basic necessities of life. If you're a maturity number 6, you're the kind of person that wants to act in order to bring your visionary ideas of a better world to fruition. But you also have an understanding that not all ideals can be reconciled straight away. You understand that we're all a work in progress and that we're not perfect yet. We incarnate into this world in order to learn and evolve and improve. And if we were already perfect, there'd be no point in incarnating in the first place. So you're not about judging the world for not being perfect yet, or judging yourself or other people for not being perfect yet. And you understand that we're working towards the perfection that we want to work towards. I mean, that's why we're here as humanity as a whole, in order to improve our souls, one person at a time, one group at a time, so that this utopian world is going to be more possible. Because the world is made of individual souls that are all evolving. And only when we evolve to be more compassionate people, more thoughtful of those around us, will the world improve as a whole. And you understand that as a maturity number 6. And you sort of dedicating yourself to acting every day to be that ideal, to be that perfection that you want to see in the world. So you're less judgmental. You realise we're all working towards being better and we're not perfect yet. You're more of a positive nurturer, more compassionate and caring, and less judgmental of others, because you realise we're all developing. You may have found yourself shy in your early years as a maturity 6, but as you've got into your mid-30s, early 40s, you might find yourself less shy, more socially confident, and more of a team player that loves to work around others and be around your friends and family. And you may have found yourself much more for creating that stable family unit, that harmonious, loving family. And a family these days doesn't necessarily mean just 2.4 children and a mum and dad. You know, many families can be created in many different ways. And the word family means many different things. It's just a group of people that love each other and keep themselves safe, keep each other safe, no matter what their gender or who they are as a person. A family is a diverse thing nowadays. So you're going to be more for developing that group unit where you keep everyone within that unit safe, loved and secure. You're more responsible, more of a sensible advisor and a helper of others. And you really want to help others more, because it all links back to your ideals of a better world. But again, those boundaries have got to be in place, because when you want to make the world a better place and you want to be compassionate to others, you've got to have boundaries in place so that you look after yourself and you don't do too much for other people, because there is such a thing as overdoing it, you know, offering unsolicited advice, being too helpful, too involved in other people's lives. So you've got to have boundaries in place on how much you care, how much you help, because you've got to think of yourself too, and you don't want to make yourself ill or end up doing too much for people so that they end up getting fed up of you getting too involved in their life. So you're more for creating that family unit, you're less judgmental, you're more compassionate to others. You want to help people more, but you understand that there's got to be boundaries in place there for other people's benefit and of course for your benefit too. So you are that responsible advisor, you are that compassionate team player, that helper of others, but you do it with boundaries. And as a maturity number 6, you may have found yourself more into your creative artistry more than ever, especially since your maturity number really ramped up. And that's anything to do with art or music or aesthetics, beauty, home design, anything that creates beauty and peace and love in this world, because you just want to make the world a better place. Now, if you want to hear about more about your chart numbers, your life path birthday, your purpose for this lifetime, your talents, your motivation and your karmic past, what you were in previous lives and the energies that you've developed in previous lives, or even what your personal year is in 2024, then email me at katie@soulexplorer.net or contact me on here or any other social media platform like Facebook. I have a page on Facebook called Soul Explorer Numerology. So there are many ways you can contact me. But if you prefer not to have a reading, if you prefer self-study, then I have books on Amazon and I have a channel on YouTube which goes really deep into all the energies and all the positions in a chart. So you can do some self-study. So if you'd like to go on YouTube or buy one of my detailed or one or more of my detailed books on Amazon, then put my name, Katie Ewers, into your search box for YouTube or Amazon, and that's KATIEYOUERS, and all my books will come up on Amazon and all my videos will come up on YouTube. But I'd very much rather speak to you in person, and I hope to see you soon.